I also want to talk a bit about the Save the Evidence campaign. This is a campaign to save the old residential school, or the mush hole as we know it, in Brantford. A few years ago, the staff of the Woodland Cultural Centre, who oversees the maintenance of that building, did a survey in the community to see if people wanted to save the building or tear it down. They also consulted with a number of the residential school survivors who may have attended that institution. The majority felt that we should save it as a reminder to mainstream Canadians of what happened to our children during the residential school era. The staff at Woodland are therefore working on a campaign called Save the Evidence. And in January 2014, the elected council committed $220,000 towards the cost of replacing the roof, and we challenged others, especially the federal and provincial governments, to match our contribution. To date, they haven't matched it. The total cost of the roof repair is about $1 million. Mayor Chris Friel from the City of Brantford is stepping up to the challenge and tabled a resolution with the Brantford City Council asking the city to match the contribution that the elected council made. I joined with some of the Woodland Cultural Centre board members and staff, along with some of the residential school survivors, to make a presentation to the City Council on Monday, May 11th, with respect to this donation. A decision was not made during the time of our presentation, and instead the issue was passed over to the City's Finance Committee, and I understand that they will not deal with it until June 18th. So hopefully the City of Brantford will accept our challenge and approve the donation. Some of the meetings I attended since our last update, in addition to the one with the Woodland Cultural Centre at the City, is on May 12th I took part in the launch of the Reclaiming Well Lives campaign, which is encouraging people to go and get more screening for cancer. We also had the mobile coach for screening here in the community for a number of days, and I understand that a number of people did go out and get screening for some of the different types of cancers out there. And I encourage people to continue to do that, because if you do get in there early enough, some of those cancers are curable. And as I've said before, we are losing way too many of our people to cancer. So I do encourage you to get screened, especially if you've never been screened before. On May 14th, I traveled to Mississauga and I spoke to a group called ProBus, which is a membership of retired business people. There were about 100 people there, and I spoke to them about issues concerning our community, and I was accompanied by Phil Montour, who also did a PowerPoint presentation on our global solution with respect to our land rights. I also attended the police badge ceremony, where badges were presented to 3 new police officers with the Six Nations Police. As you know, we are working with the city and the county and MP Phil McColeman and others on cleaning up Mohawk Lake. And they have held visioning workshops, and I took part in one that they held here at Tourism on May 14th. The Woodland Cultural Centre has also on May 15th opened their 40th First Nations Art Show, and it's an excellent show which I encourage everybody to go up and see. The featured artist this year is Elizabeth Dockstader, who has done beautiful corn husk dolls in addition to artwork, and you can also visit her shop at Iroquois Plaza. Just before Bread and Cheese, on the Sunday before, I attended a gospel sing. It was at Veterans Park that was hosted by Ken and Sonia Salt, and it was an emotional day for everybody because the little Michaela, of course, is gone now, and I was particularly pleased that they gave me a picture of her and I that was taken some time ago. Our Bread and Cheese Day was held on May 18th. It was very successful again. We had a beautiful day, and there were a lot of people that came out, and I think everybody had a good time. I also took part in a visioning presentation that Health Services is holding for all of their departments and within their department, so that they can all try and work together and provide a better service for the community. On May 20th, I attended Mayor Chris Friel's lunch in Brantford at the Golf and Country Club, where there was a question and answer session with him and also with Phil McColeman and Dave Levac. So I guess that's an annual event that the mayor has, and I was pleased to be invited and provide a few comments. I also attended the graduation ceremony for the Mohawk language lessons that are put on by Brian Miracle, and I'm very proud of all the young people that have completed those courses, and it was just refreshing to hear them all stand up and speak Mohawk, and so I congratulate them and wish them all the much success as they move on. On May 21st, we took part in the one of our Pan Am events, which was a cultural and sports festival. It was held at the Tim Hortons Stadium in Hamilton. And it was quite an exciting event. We had Juanique Horn-Miller there, Mary Spencer was there, the boxer, Carrie Lee Thomas for women's softball, Jesse Smith and Steve Tushkinig for golf. We had a lot of our lacrosse players there. Delmar Jacobs was there, and it was providing workshops for a number of elementary and secondary school kids from within the Hamilton area. So it was well attended, and I think it was very good to provide those information to them and also to introduce them to Six Nations. Six Nations Council as well, during Community Awareness Week, which was held last month, also had their own barbecue here. We also hosted the annual awards ceremony at Polytech on May 23rd. And the winner of the Wilma General Memorial Award this year was Krista Jonathan, a young lady who's done a lot of work to earn that award. And the community treasures this year were Johnny Paulus, who is the lacrosse star, and Michelle Farmer, who runs her own dance studio. So congratulations to all those winners.